Welcome, Gemini, to your February 2021 reading. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If this is the first time you've tuned in, I'm still offering free mini readings for all new subscribers. So if you've got a question about this particular reading or something that this reading doesn't cover for you, just click the subscribe button and ask your question in the comments below, and I'll be absolutely happy to answer you. Now, this month, I have to start out with saying happy Valentine's Day if you follow that. And I do see a bit of love there for Geminis. Also, happy February. Welcome to February, guys. I'm feeling like you've got some great energy for you here, Geminis, and some quite significant events that are happening for you. Now, this month starts out with the Wheel of Fortune. What a wonderful card. And this is that card that does talk about lucky breaks for you. It's that Wheel of Karma. The wheel is turning, and things, usually when the Wheel of Fortune comes up, it is good things that are coming your way for February. Now, I just couldn't believe the synchronicities when I looked at your cards and meditated on your cards. Right beneath the Wheel of Fortune, you've got that Nine of Pentacles. Now, I'll go into each card in a little bit more detail, but they just seemed to really connect with me. Then you've got Justice, which also represents Libra. Right beneath that, you've got the Queen of Swords, which is also the card for Libra. You've got the King of Cups. That is that wonderful, loving, emotional energy, and a loving, emotional person that it describes as well. Beneath that, you've got the Twin Flame card, the Two of Cups. Everything is connected. Some fast-moving energy as well there, and the releasing of some stuff that you have been hanging on to, and some changes coming up for you in general. But let's go into everything in a little bit more depth. So the Wheel of Fortune there, as I mentioned, it's a lucky card. It's that card of luck, and this card's linked with Jupiter. If you're into astrology, Jupiter is that planet that is very beneficial, very generous, gives you lots of things. And definitely this is talking about good luck. So perhaps if you're not into lottery tickets, maybe just go buy a lottery ticket, just a cheap one. You don't have to invest a lot of money, but it could be lucky for you in February. And also, this is a wheel, so wheels tend to signify movement, and you may have been kind of stuck in a rut, and I do feel like things are definitely moving for you, particularly when it comes to your finances, your money. It's moving for you, and in a good, positive way. And it talks about delays being over. And, this is absolutely, as I mentioned, you've got the Knight of Wands there. That is reflected in that energy as well. Any pauses that you've had, that I feel like this is, the delays are going to be over here. Now, it's surrounded by wonderful cards as well. So as I mentioned, that Nine of Pentacles right beneath it, it's telling me that your finances are looking wonderful for you in February. Then we have the Justice card right beside it. Now, if you have been involved in any legal issues, any signing of contracts, anything to do with legal documents, court cases, anything like that, I feel like things are going to be going very well for you in February, and things could be coming to an end when it comes to that kind of stuff as well. But what the Justice card does talk about is this card is encouraging you to always do what you know is right. And when you do that, you know that justice is going to be on your side no matter what. So if you find yourselves in a situation that someone's got an ability to make a judgment over you or evaluate your behavior in any way, when you get the justice card, things are going to really turn out quite well for you. Now, justice also asks you to stand up for what you believe in as well. So if you've got, if you've got an issue that's been happening in your life that you believe is to be true, right and correct, stand up for what you believe in and hold on to your convictions, because if you've done the right thing and you know what's right, you defend it. Now, as I did mention, this is the card of Libra, and this is that card of balance. Libra is very balanced. They're the scales, and they're able to weigh up a lot of things. And so this is a card of having an open mind, be balanced and focused and fair in anything that you perhaps may be making a judgment or a decision on. Now, you've got the King of Cups, as I did mention as well. The King is that beautiful card that asks you to open up your heart and show compassion for those people that are around you. And you're also asked to open your mind to new ideas and creative ways of thinking as well. When the King of Cups comes up in a spread, it can be also asking you to provide a little bit of time and money to charitable organisations. So you could be called up to be helping out whether someone in your family, some of your friends, or just a charity in general. But when it comes to relationships, the King represents someone that you can truly trust. And this is not necessarily a man. So if you are male and you're watching this can represent a female as well in your life. So it's not gender specific, but it's someone that you can really trust. Their heart is just beautiful. It's absolutely golden. And they operate with the highest degree of integrity. So just make sure that you're operating with the highest degree of integrity as well. Now, this can represent a water sign. So this is Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And they just really ask you to have the highest degree of integrity as well when you're behaving in any way towards them. They're just a very romantic person and very committed, and they give their heart as well as their time and their energy, and they're quite spiritual as well. They love to work hard. They're quite willing to work hard. They put in that energy for those people who are having difficult times, and they've always got a kind word for everyone, but they also expect the same of other people as well. So they actually bring the good out in other people when they're around them. So, if you've got anything nasty to say about somebody else, I wouldn't be saying it around this person, because they'll probably kind of won't want to hear it or cut you down in some way. Now, the Knight of Wands, as I mentioned, this is incredibly fast moving energy. All knights represent movement. This is movement in perhaps movement to do with, because the Death card is right beneath it, and I'll go into that in a little more detail. I feel like a situation is coming to a rapid conclusion for you. Now, this is also a card where you might have to make some decisions quite quickly, and there's energy there where you're having to move quickly on a particular issue. And this doesn't have to be something that's negative in any way or challenging in any way, or something that worries you, but it's simply, it might be something quite great, like you get offered multiple jobs, or you get to choose between two wonderful directions in a creative project or something that you're passionate about, two people that you could potentially be in love with, and you are having to make a decision in a short space of time. But what this card kind of says is try not to make a rash decision, even though you have to make the decision quickly. Think about it as best you can before coming to any sort of conclusions and before you make that move, because often the Knight of Wands is that knight that is someone that sort of rushes in where angels fear to tread, so to speak. They come racing in, and they're not actually thinking about the consequences, essentially. So think about any consequences before you do make a decision and move in any particular direction in February. But once you've considered everything, I think you're going to be off. Like, I think once that decision's made, there's fast movement. Things are happening really quickly. Now, this can sometimes refer to a fire sign. So this is a Leo, an Aries, or a Sagittarius, if it does represent a person. But often I feel like the Knights are talking about movement and you moving in a particular direction. And I feel like this could be work-related for some of you. Now, that Nine of Pentacles, what a wonderful card. I absolutely love it. This is a really lucky card as well. And it's that card of success and luxury and self-nurturing. And it's like you're so prosperous. I mean, if you look at the card, this person's wearing wonderful, luxurious robes. They're surrounded by vines full of fruit. I don't know if you can see it under the crystals there. And there's pentacles, there's coins all around this person. And this is prosperity that you will be seeing in February. And this is from your hard work. You've achieved this, Gemini. And you really deserve a rest and a relaxation. And this card sometimes refers to people that are in that position where they can actually retire now. They've put in all that hard work and they're in a position where they can, they've earned enough money and they might be able to say, you know what, I'm going to take some time out for me now. This can be where you're actually at that retirement age, or you might be in a financial position where you can retire now. That's the kind of prosperity that the Nine talks about here. And this can also talk about plans that you might have to be going into business for yourself. And if you do have any of those plans, particularly with that Wheel of Fortune above it, you should pursue any ideas regarding going into business for yourself, because it'll turn out quite well for you. And another thing about the Nine of Pentacles, it's a card of, quietly reflecting on where you are at this stage in your life. And, you've learned the difference when it comes to this point in your life, the difference between solitude and being lonely. And it could even talk about, the fact that you don't need the company of other people to be happy. You are quite happy to have that solitude, like to go out for a walk in nature, or, sit by the river, or go down to the beach or whatever, and just enjoy being on your own. And as I said, that's not being lonely. It's just enjoying that solitude and that peace in your life. So that's quite lovely energy in the Nine of Pentacles there. Now you've got the Queen of Swords, and as I mentioned, this is the card for Libra. But this is a general reading, so this can be any air sign. So this is Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini yourself. You are an air sign as well. But I'm feeling, because this is right below the Justice card, this is strongly suggesting this is a Libra card. But what the Queen of Swords represents is a life that is free of emotional distractions, so to speak, or any dramas, mental drama, stress that's around you. And it's a card of wisdom as well, and life experiences. So I'm feeling like February is this time where you are really going to be reevaluating a lot of stuff for you and letting a lot of stuff go, and just looking at where you are in life at the moment, and really being in a place of inner peace. And I think this is something that you've earned. You've gone through all of that difficult stuff. You've gone through the ringer, and you've had all of those trials and tribulations in your life. You now have a level of experience that is quite giving you this sense of peace. And you know, a sense that you can handle any situation that comes your way. Now, this person is someone, this could potentially represent a divorced person. It could represent someone who's got a very dry sense of humor as well. So this could be you too, Gemini, but it really does talk about someone that is that person that cuts away anyone that is no longer serving them or where they're wanting to go. They can just get rid of those people that just create drama and aren't truthful or honest. And like, you could be doing this too. Whenever we see a court card coming up and it does represent, and it's not representing a specific person in our life, it's asking you to take on the energy of this card as well. So it's asking you to do this in your life. Get rid of those people that bring you strife and drama in your life. You know, but this is someone that can look at a problem at a glance and know exactly what to do in any situation. So they're a good ally to have. But that they really are that sort of person that steers clear of people who don't take responsibility for their own lives. So she, and I say she because it's the Queen, but this is non-gender specific. This is someone that holds people accountable for their actions, and holds people accountable if they ask for a little bit of help as well. Like, if you're feeling sad and sorry for yourself, it's like going to be like, come on, what are you doing? Get out of this rut. You know, this is of your own making. So they're quite logical thinking and quite balanced as well. Now you've got that Two of Cups, and that is that card of the twin soul, the card of love. You know, it's such a wonderful card. You know, after the Lovers card, the Two of Cups does talk about love and partnership, and you've got a lot of people around you in February. Now this could definitely be a new relationship for you, and this can be a new relationship with a Libra, or it can be a relationship with someone that you are already in, where that relationship is deepening and becoming more emotional. Again, this could be a Libra here for you. But it's just such lovely, beautiful energy in the Two of Cups. This is that card about falling in love, and, you know, you meet someone, you've met sort of someone that really just fits your heart, fits your soul, and the relationship is deepening here. And it's like two hearts are becoming entwined. If you look at the imagery, there's those two little snakes between the cups, and they're twirled around each other, and it's sort of that imagery of two hearts growing closer, and the emotion is growing deeper. And this can also be two very close platonic friends. It doesn't necessarily mean love relationship. Now, this could be also with a water sign there, because it's right beneath the King of Cups. But it could also be, you've got a Scorpio there. The Death card does represent Scorpio, so that is a water sign. So the King of Cups does represent someone from a water sign. So there could be some relationship there with a Scorpio, could be with a Libra, but potentially even be with a fire sign. But I'm feeling like Libra is definitely significant. But the two does talk about a card of forgiveness. So if you've had any disputes with a loved one, just allow all of that stuff to fade away in February. I feel like it is going to be, particularly with the Justice card there that talks about just judgments in your favor. So I feel like things are going to be quite smoothed over if you have been having any difficulties or issues in a relationship. Yeah, definitely tells you if you've had any problems in a relationship, particularly in one that you are currently in with someone, don't give up on it, because if you had any strain or trouble or anything like that, this card tells you things are going to work out quite well, and it's going to be resolved in a positive and mutually beneficial way for everyone involved. Now, as I mentioned, you have the Death card there, and that is a card of endings, and endings of situations that you may have been feeling a little bit stuck in. And this can relate to any emotional situations that perhaps haven't been working out for you. That stuff is going to end, and it's going to end very quickly. You've got the energy of that Knight of Wands right above it, so things are going to change, and you're going to be able to release any of that negative stuff that has been holding you back in the past. And it also talks about a time to move on. Like, not only are you able to release any of this stuff that has been holding you back, particularly if it's been in an issue with a relationship, you are asked to actually move on. So don't continue to ponder what has happened. Release it and move on. Sorry, and also with the Eight of Wands above it, as I mentioned, that is fast-moving energy, but again, I'm seeing these two being connected. So when you do release this ending, this difficult situation that you are able to release and let go, even though things are going to be happening quickly there, don't drop it like a hot potato. Sort of move through that whole process, so you are able to release it and let it go in a healthy way, and you don't still have this recurring, particularly if it's been a fight. I'm feeling like a fight or an argument with someone in your life that you've been close to. Just release it in a way that's going to allow you to be able to move on in a healthy way. This is also a great card to talk about releasing any fears that you might be facing about the future. And it brings about a lot of spiritual insights and personal transformations when the death card comes up. It's quite a significant card. I mean, it is a major arcana, so I am feeling like this ending is something that is quite significant and is going to be very, very beneficial for you in the end. Now, your final card there from the Gateway Oracles card by Denise Lynn is listening with your heart. And I'm going to read that out from the book because I absolutely love the messages in this deck. Now, the affirmation for this particular card is, I trust the messages I receive from my heart. And you've got a lot of that emotional energy with the King and the Two of Cups in your reading, so really listen to it, guys. Now, the meaning of this card is, the heart knows what the mind cannot uncover. Trust the messages you receive from your heart. Angels and guides are communicating with you in sweet, soft stillness. Listen to their gentle whispers. The universe wants you to know, if you're facing a decision and your mind says one thing, but your heart says another, follow the dictates of your heart and you'll be on the right path. If you get a nudge to speak to someone or go in a particular direction, don't hesitate. Follow this guidance. Whenever you feel challenged and you don't know where to turn, quiet your mind and listen with your heart. The correct path will appear. The Spirit wants to speak to you. There is a message for you right now. Watch the signs and the messages will unfold effortlessly. That is a pretty important message, Gemini. And it's interesting that it's saying, if you have two directions that you can go in, because that Knight of Wands is really talking about that situation where you're kind of having to make a choice quite quickly between two options. So listen to your heart when it comes to that choice, and it's going to guide you in the right direction. So I hope that resonated with you, Geminis. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're into crystals, check out my website at kazana.com.au. There are some beautiful crystal pieces there, all one-off pieces only, handmade and designed in Australia by an Australian designer. So have a wonderful February, and I hope to see you next month. Bye.